organise themselves and the way that we make decisions and all of those things that we do on a micro scale is really, really significant for the future world that we want to see. And the way that we do it is important. So I was looking at conferences as sites of knowledge production, not just as, the academy normally sees movements as sites of practice, whereas recently, because of so much internet, online discussion, blogs and activists produce discussions to such high quality, it seems sensible to look at movements as knowledge production sites themselves and to engage with that idea. I was also interested in the radical imagination and the role that it was playing to bring about change. And Kasnabash and Hyman say that if you want to feel solidarity with distant people, then the radical imagination is very important. That you can imagine that you are the same as someone on the other side of the world who has a very different life, a very different experience, but still we need to feel solidarity with those people and make solidarity connections with those people. Also, the radical imagination, I think, is important for configuring. It's important for people to come together in groups and think, what kind of world do we want to create, and what are the routes that we go from here to there to make that come about. So yeah, I was interested in the radical imagination and methodology. So the methodology is complicated.
1.5 minutes.
So I was trying to, it's an anarcho-feminist approach, so it focuses on of organising rather than like the why or the what of organising. And I tried to be participatory in my method, so like I would select the topics of interest by having conversations with people involved in Occupy, and through that I decided to talk about horizontality and consensus because people were talking a lot about them and it seemed interesting issues to talk about. And then my methods, I wanted to combine feminism with anarchism, so I took autoethnography of my experience of activism for the last 18 years or something on and off, with militant ethnography, which is being half academic, half activist, and doing like an anarchist anthropology of Occupy and Global Square, but then trying to triangulate that with the experiences of Occupy in other parts of the world through reading accounts of Occupy Boston, Occupy Pittsburgh, all these different places. And it was very interesting, I think, that a lot of the occupiers around the world were experiencing very similar issues, okay? So the other part of my methodology, I guess, was to try and engage in collective learning. So that was involved delivering workshops, having informal conversations about power relations within movements and how we can work towards overcoming them. And I guess it's a very difficult thing to do because obviously everyone involved in movements is very sensitive and really trying to make the change happen. And so to then ask people to reflect again on their practice, it's a very challenging thing to do. But my aim was to stimulate more collective critical reflection about how we organise and how we become more inclusive and have more integrity as a movement in terms of our principles and practices matching up.
I'm going to start making funny faces now.
Okay.
We've gone almost a minute over. Have you got any conclusions yet, or is it still?
Well, in terms of Occupy London, obviously there were issues of intersectionality. There were issues of class, race, gender, inequalities, and it's very interesting to see how they were lived out. And of course, we do recreate power relations of mainstream society within our communities. So then I guess the next step is how we can move beyond that. And so I keep going with my research and trying to push forward how working within different communities about overcoming the issues of inequality, gender, race, and to try and create better world.
Thank you very much, and sorry for being so. But what I'm going to propose we do is we're going to move into the kiddies area, which means we'll be able to hear each other better. and in a minute a concert starting and we'll be mobbed. So if you bring your chairs, we're going to move into the area